Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor at Retail Insider. Joining me today is Vinayak Madappa, who is a strategic advisory partner with consumer products, retail and distribution at Capgemini. Thanks for joining us today, Vin.
Thank you, Mario. Glad to be here.
All right, let's talk about a recent report that you folks had put out, what matters to today's consumers. And the interesting part of it all is, to me, is people are looking for value. People are looking for ways to save money, I guess. 74% are looking for discounts. Can you talk a little bit about that, Vin, and the reasons for that?
Definitely. So Mario, as you're aware, we're coming through unprecedented times. We're coming out of a pandemic. Similar to last year, there was a lot of uncertainty in the market, and the economic uncertainty has kind of led to consumers feeling the pinch of where they're spending their money. So the rising food and energy costs, the shortages in the market are leading to consumers being extremely worried and concerned about the status of their finances. And as a result, you're starting to see that permeate into their shopping behaviors. So what we're looking at is, and we don't see this trend going away. We see this trend, also lasting from 6 to 9 months, and then in the post recovery as we come out on the other side. So that's kind of driving the major impact in the market today. So as a result, now consumers are looking to companies to start to pass on some of that benefit in terms of purchases, in especially focusing on essential items and medical care that are really essential to their families. They're looking to kind of they look organizations to start to adopt technology and start to focus on passing on some of that benefits. And as a trade-off, they're looking at providing back loyalty and services in time.
Yeah. Do you think, Ben, that a lot of consumers today are gravitating towards those brands that offer value, that offer discounts? Whether it's Dollarama, or whether it's Walmart, or whether it's even like secondhand places and thrift places.
We are seeing that, and I think that's going to be part of the trend that which will continue to remain strong. So about 60% of the Canadian market have gravitated towards hypermarket and discount stores rather than buying from specialty stores or conveniences. They're spending more time, searching for these deals. So it's not just that they're walking into the stores and trying to find the deals over there. Yeah. Consumers are spending a lot more time doing that research across multiple brands to identify where they're going to get the biggest bang for their buck, and are looking at, breaking their basket into, different locations that they go shopping to.
Yeah. Now, when you look at, coming back to, what you were talking about, some of the influences and impacts here, the report said 68% are concerned about their finances. I'm actually thinking that's fairly low. I would think almost everybody today is concerned about their finances. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, I think, based on the research methodology, we covered 11,300 people, 11 countries. So you're going to see a bit of that, based on the demographic and socioeconomic statuses of these individuals, you will see that change. So I would say in certain geographies, remember, the 68% is traded off. But if you look at Canada specifically, it is 68%, whereas it's 61% globally. I think you're going to see a bit of a discrepancy over there. But yes, it's not that they are not concerned. I think there are some people who are their buying patterns haven't fundamentally shifted because of their affordability status, but it is a concern regardless.
Yeah, and then an interesting thing I find is, the impulse buy. People, they're going to the grocery store, they're buying what they need, the bread, the milk, or whatever, but then they see, oh, look at that, and they go and buy. But, the reports show 75%, are going to be doing less of that, the impulse buys. Do you think that's the thing now with consumers, is that thinking is going to be in their brain more and more when they go to stores, that, what, do I need this or do I want this?
You're spot on, Mario. I think it's a question of need versus want. I think consumers are becoming cost conscious on what they're determining as non-essential items. Electronics, toys, dining out are generally now starting to become non-essential. It's starting to focus more around what do I need to make sure that I can run my household.
Yeah,
The other dimension to it is that you're starting to see a shift also in terms of the quantity per basket for the same dollar value or more. The report talks about the fact that you've seen an increase of 9% in terms of revenue, but you've seen a 3% decrease in number of units per basket. So as
yeah.
an end consumer, right, I'm getting, let's say, less bang for my buck. And so I'm trying to make the right conscious decisions, or the conscious decisions as to what I need to buy to make sure I'm able to put manage my basket from a unit size perspective.
All right. And one last thing about the report itself. This I found interesting. 63% expect companies to forfeit some of their profits for the better of society. I looked at that, I went, that's interesting, right? What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, we always talk about big companies or whatever. It's all about profits, but people want to see companies do good, I guess.
And I think ESG, the ESG angle, of the societal environmental angle, is starting to come out a lot more. I think if you looking at that statement in isolation may not necessarily give you the full picture. So I'm just going to caveat it with as to why I believe that that's an important thing. They're expecting. I don't think consumers are expecting companies to forego profits. They are looking to see companies making changes to their operating model in order to improve the cost to serve, right, or the cost to sell, and pass on that benefit to the consumer. And as a result, consumers are are saying, and we have that in the report, is that we would provide that loyalty and continued service in over the pandemic, over this tough time and beyond, where you would start to provide that service back to the consumer. So it's a benefit for organizations to start to keep the consumer in mind. And we're seeing a lot of them do the price freezes. We're looking at price locks, right, in terms of certain essential items. We're looking at protection of consumers to the consumer price point, especially on essential items. So I think it can't be viewed only in isolation. If they're looking for the profits to be passed on to the consumer, it would be a quid pro quo back to the organization.
All right. One last thing, Vin, tell me a little bit about Capgemini and what you guys do.
So Capgemini, we are a large technology service-based consulting company. We focus very strongly through the lens of how data, technology, and applications can really transform organizational culture. We are we have developed services and offerings which have through which we take our clients through transformation journeys. We cover a range of sectors, right from financial services, consumer products, retail, telecommunications, and media and technology. And we are looking at leveraging thought leaderships like these consumer reports to provide insights into the market as to how consumers are changing, as well as our point of view in the evolving ecosystem, as technology still plays a bigger role in our lives these days.
All right. Thank you very much, Vin, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mario, for having us. I appreciate it.
All right. That was Vinayak Madappa, who is Strategic Advisory Partner, Consumer Products, Retail, and Distribution with Capgemini. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.